I have around at the moment about 4 collections of work, and there's quite a difference in the style of those collections, and that's mainly due to a 10-year gap in my studies. So I first started studying jewellery design and silversmithing in 2002 at Cardonald, and that was design based, and I was taught to make everything by hand there. I had a 10-year gap to have a family, and I went back and finished my honours degree. I wanted to go back to Glasgow Kelvin, which has a fantastic stone setting course and a 3D printing and rapid prototyping course. So you'll see from the corrosion collection, for example, I use a 3D printed element, which is this little guy here. So it was always important to me that learning CAD wouldn't replace my bench skills, because learning to make by hand was the reason and the sole reason that I wanted to be a jeweller in the first place. So my style of working is to create a single element like this and have it cast in a single element, and then build that up layer by layer in repetition to create quite dramatic pieces. So I use a combination of this, like this for example here, is the corrosion pendant. So you've possibly seen this on my profile picture. So this here is built from a single element which is soldered together, and then the setting for that was made from recycled gold and silver. So the gold and silver was melted and rolled down and then made by hand, and then this section here was cut out and the setting was placed in. So, and the little jump rings, everything was all made by hand. So that's important to me, and I think playing at the bench, playing around with the elements, it creates a completely different look, and it's something that I probably wouldn't have come up with if it just been a whole CAD piece done at a computer. So this stone here is a custom cut green amethyst pendulum cut, and these are custom cut for me by Gemstones Brazil, who operate a responsible mining policy. That's also very important. Decided a couple of years ago that as a maker we have a responsibility to try and source gold and gemstones from companies who operate responsible mining policies. So I've recently just become a registered fair trade goldsmith, so I can offer that as an option for my work as well. If you ever want anything from any of my collections made in fair trade gold, you can just message me that and let me know. So that's the corrosion collection. That's the largest piece of the corrosion collection there. It's quite a statement piece. Some of my other collections were the Nexus collection, for example, is my first year studying. I had quite a fascination with the Bauhaus movement and kinetic jewellery. So pieces like this here. So obviously the Bauhaus movement is form follows function. It's very pared back design. So this collection of rings here is available in various different coloured gemstones, but that's why there's such a difference in my design collection. The corrosion collection, my inspiration for the corrosion collection, again probably my inspiration from my first collections, kinetic elements. I have a thing for abandoned fun fairs, which is all very depressing. My kids are making faces at me just now. So this here, I started to look at cage forms and roller coaster tracks, and how you can develop a cage form and how to give that strength. So from there I started looking at the cage forms from an engineer's perspective, and how to give a piece strength but still have very negative and positive spaces. So I started to look at bridges like this, and you'll notice on most bridges there is triangular forms, and it's because triangular forms create the most strength. Like this here is the beginning of the Forth Road rail bridge, which was some of the new pieces that I've been working on for Handmade in Chelsea. They are new corrosion earrings, and I used to only have those available with a round stone. Those are a drop, and so I've made new drop earrings. These have not been set yet, and they have a trillion cut stone. So I've made a little section across the back for the earring post to go, and these are also going to be available in 18 karat gold, with an 18 karat gold section here for a little diamond. And I'm going to show you what the stones are going to look like in there. So these are going to be set like this. Like this. And the 18 karat gold is going to have, so I tried to use mostly gemstone dealers who operate responsible mining policies, so that they pay their miners a fair price and a fair wage for the stones that they find and for their work, and the conditions that they work in. They have fair conditions to work in too. So these are blue topaz trillion cut, and they will be set with a little tiny diamond here as well.